We've got some more double trouble today here in our Metropolis Bulldogs Teambuilder Dynasty here on NCAA Football 14. We've got two matchups today, one on the blue turf against the 4-4 Boise State Broncos, and then our second game back at home against the University of Virginia. Our Metropolis Bulldogs currently sit at a record of 2-5 here in their inaugural season, and are looking to string some more wins across to finish off year number one in a successful way. Our Bulldogs the past month and a half have been, well, dare I say, quite competitive against good teams and winning against not so good teams, which is exactly where we want to be early here in the series. So since week 4, our game against Alabama, we've had plenty of bye weeks, but we also had two big wins against Navy and Temple. And then in the last episode, we lost to Oklahoma, but again, we stayed competitive the entire game and had that one tied at halftime before Caleb Williams and the Sooners kind of ran away with it in the second half. This Boise State team is good. Their top playmaker is wide receiver Khalil Shakir, who is a legitimate NFL draft prospect. Hank Bachmeier is the quarterback. They also have Jack Sears. He was a great recruit a number of years ago. Didn't really pan out. Cyrus Habibi-Liko, their running back, is hurt, an Oregon transfer, so they're going to have to rely on some other guys. Overall, this is a good team, and Boise State has been one of the best Group 5 programs for upwards of a decade. And although they haven't been as impressive, I would say, the last 3 or 4 years, they're still a really talented squad. They've got some NFL caliber players on this roster. And in my opinion, this is probably the hardest game left on the schedule for Metropolis, and certainly one I'm sure we'd like to win. Welcome, everybody, to Albertson Stadium here in Boise, Idaho. The 4-4 Boise State Broncos have a non-conference matchup against our 2-5 Metropolis Bulldogs. With the coin toss, you guys know the drill. Tails never fails. And indeed, it lands on tails. So we're going to send the defense out on the field first. The defense has been the strength of this team. Although they were not great in the second half last game against Oklahoma, it's Oklahoma. They had the number 1 scoring offense in the country. 2nd and 6 for Bachmeier downfield. And he connects with his wide receiver, Stephen Cobbs, who is really the other main weapon on this offense with Khalil Shakir. 2nd and 3. Bachmeier up the middle, gets it to Evans. He is going to get it to the 1. Octavius Evans with the play, and Boise State is very close to the end zone. They did get called for a full start on the previous play, backing them up to the 6 as it's a jet sweep for Cobbs, and Stephen Cobbs is in for a touchdown. The Boise State Broncos start this one on the board quickly down the field for a touchdown. Hopefully not a sign of things to come. And again, this defense has played really well this year, but Boise State does have a good offense. Nice throw downfield for Reggie King, who's been the best player on this offense. He gets 44 yards. The senior wideout Reggie King continues to be so impressive. It sucks he's only going to be on the team 1 year because he's been such a good player for this team. 3rd and 11. The sophomore Victor Johans going to scramble with it to the left side. He's going to try to run for the first, and he got it. A great play by Victor Johans. Very high IQ run, saw there was nobody open. So he's going to tuck it and go to the left side where there's no Boise State defenders. 3rd and 9 now, just under 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Johans going to look to throw it, scrambling again to the left, but this time he does not have as much luck. Sacked on the play by the cornerback, Markel Reed. So that'll bring out the field goal unit. 10-mile-an-hour winds that Mark Mitchell has to deal with as it is wide right. Mitchell's first missed kick in his entire collegiate career. He is automatic. Even stranger than Mark Mitchell missing is Vanderbilt beating number 3 Florida. Metropolis plays Vanderbilt later in the season. Bachmeier on 2nd and 6, loses 6 on the sack by the nickel cornerback Hassan Antonio. So the Bulldogs get the stop there. Boise State would punt it. Their offense didn't get anything going on that possession. Johans now going to the right, trying to get something out of nothing, and he gets another big run, cuts to the right and fumbles it, and it's picked up by Skinner. Victor Johans got a little bit greedy there, wanted to get the big play, and it backfired as Skinner brings it all the way to around the 25-yard line. A big turnover there for Boise State. Victor Johans probably should have just slid, but he wanted to outrun the defender, gain some more yards, and obviously it backfired as that ball is clean out. Reed is the one with the fumble force, so Boise State has it with great field position and a great opportunity to make it a 2-score lead. 3rd down and 1. Here for the Broncos, Bachmeier gets it to George Halani. Breaks a couple tackles. Halani still on his feet, and he breaks it to 1. What a run here by George Halani. And Boise State is so close to the end zone. First and goal to make it a 2-score game here right at the end of the first quarter. It's a read option. Bachmeier keeps it and is stuffed. Ryan Jovanovic, the junior, brings him down for a loss of about 4. So a good end to what was a not so good first quarter. The defense looks a little bit sluggish. The special teams hasn't been very good. Mark Mitchell has finally missed a kick. And the offense hasn't been terrible, but they have turned it over and haven't looked all that efficient. First play of the second quarter, it's a toss for Halani. He is in. George Halani with the touchdown, stepping up for the injured Cyrus Habibi-Liko. And the Boise State Broncos will make it a 14-0 game. So the offense has to start getting on track. Mekhi Diggins, the senior two-way star, gets the first down. Diggins has still not been overly impressive on the offensive side of the ball, albeit his offensive line is a train wreck, so it's not totally his fault, but that has really derailed the entire run game. 2nd and 10, Emmanuel Cortez up the middle with a nice move after the catch inside the 15. A great play there by Cortez, and the Metropolis Bulldogs are very close to getting their first points of the game. First and goal to hand off for Tutu Artavius III with his first collegiate touchdown. And Metropolis is on the board. Maybe not the guy you would have expected to score there. Artavius, along with every other running back not named Mekhi Diggins, has been, well, pretty bad this year. Diggins is the only one with over 4 yards a carry. And Vanderbilt officially beats number 3 Florida. How about that? The Gators appear to be knocked out of championship contention, losing to Vanderbilt, of all teams. So it's 14-7, third down for Boise State. Evans drops the wide open pass. It was right in his mitts. Good throw by Bachmeier, but Evans was unable to hang on. The Bulldogs will start with pretty bad field position at around the 6-yard line as it's a screen for Mekhi Diggins, who is smothered in the backfield, losing around 5. That'll push Metropolis back to their own 1-yard line. A disastrous offensive play there. So the Bulldogs will have to punt. Boise State gets it back with awesome field position as Bachmeier keeps another read option. He fools forward Chavez. There goes Bachmeier. He is in for a Boise State touchdown. Hank Bachmeier isn't necessarily known for his legs, but on that play, he was wheeling and dealing. The Boise State Broncos extend their lead up to 2 possessions once again. It's now 21-7. Third down and 1 for the Bulldog offense. Trying to get something going here as Diggins runs into his right guard, and he gets nothing. A big stop for the Boise State defense, so it's 4th and inches. Metropolis says, hey, we're 2-5. We're probably not going to win this game. What do we have to lose? So they go for it, and it works as Victor Johans gets 2 on the QB sneak, but that's all he needs to keep the drive going. Another third down now. This time it is 3rd and 8. Johans going to look to likely pass it here. The play clock winding down, and it will be a throw. Johans scrambling to the right side under a lot of pressure. Tries to get it to Rogers, but it is incomplete. Victor Johans is not a natural scrambler. It's just that he has no time to throw it. The offensive line continues to be the weakness of this football team, and Boise State gets it back, trying to extend their lead before halftime. They don't have a lot of time to do it, though. From inside the 50 at around the 45, Bachmeier, under pressure, takes a shot deep for the end zone. It's caught. Octavius Evans with the touchdown, and the Boise State Broncos take a 3-score lead, 28-7. Metropolis does not have a whole lot of time, about 20-ish seconds left to go in the half. Victor Johans going to the right this time, under a lot of pressure, heaves it up, and it's caught. The tight end, O'Shane Yakabuti, with the grab. Johans fits it into traffic. 15 seconds later, we're down to 1 second in the first half. It seems like the Bulldogs are likely going to go for the Hail Mary. Johans scrambles to the right, however. He audibled Cortez to go on the slant. Emmanuel Cortez down the field. He is in for a touchdown at the buzzer. What a play call, going for the Hail Mary, but having Emmanuel Cortez run to the other side of the field where there's going to be no attention from the defense. Great execution by Metropolis, going with the trick play, and it pays off. What a way to end the first half. Now, yes, the Bulldogs are still down by 2 touchdowns. The defense still looks really bad, surprisingly, but that'll certainly give Metropolis some much-needed momentum. Down by 14 points. They were down, I believe, by 14 against Navy. came back and won that game. So they can absolutely do it here against Boise State, even if Boise State is quite a bit better than Navy. But you never know. So early in the second half, I forgot to hit record, and Boise State picked off a pass. Yeah, that's Reed with the interception. He did the fumble for us earlier. Not an ideal start, and I apologize if you guys did not get to see the initial play. So the Bulldogs no longer have the ball, kind of snapping away their momentum. George Halani with a juke move up the middle. He is in for a Boise State touchdown. Metropolis is really missing that explosiveness on offense. They do have some explosive players on their board for recruiting, but they are losing traction on guys like running back Donovan Barrington. Barrington is a super explosive player. Imagine him on this Metropolis offense, but Syracuse kind of wants him, which is not good. Next episode, we will have our next recruiting update, as that's going to be a fumble, and it's picked up by Irwin. The third quarter has been about as worse of a start as you could ask for. 2 turnovers, the touchdown. Boise State probably going to punch it in here again, trying to make it a 4-score game. Bachmeier scrambling to his left. He gets it to Smith. And yeah, it has been one of those days. Riley Smith with the touchdown. And the Metropolis team as a whole just isn't really playing with the same energy and edge that they've had really for the past 2 months since the Alabama game. So the Bulldogs have it back, down by a whopping 28 points. Good throw by Johans with Marcus Wilkerson, the junior wideout who hasn't made a ton of plays this season, but good route, good catch. 2nd and 10 now from inside the 30. Johans will hand it off to Mekhi Diggins, who makes a nice move. Diggins with blocks. He gets about 10 or 11. So the offense is starting to get back into a groove. 2 early turnovers, but now it seems like they're figuring things out again. 3rd and goal from the 5. Play action fake. Johans looking to throw it. Tries to get it to Tico Chukwumereji, but it is broken up on the play by Hawkins. So the field goal unit returns. It's a chip shot. Mark Mitchell missed earlier, and it's a fake! Larry Caker drops back to throw, incomplete. He had a very frustrated O'Shane Yakabuti wide open, and I don't blame Yakabuti for being frustrated. That was a piss-poor throw. So after the 3rd quarter, not a particularly good frame of football for Metropolis, turning it over twice, allowing 2 touchdowns, and they are now down by 28 points. As we open up the 4th quarter, I wouldn't really expect to come back, but I don't know. We've seen crazier. The Falcons blew a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl. Bachmeier gets it to George Halani, gets by Diggins, wrapped up by Ivanovic. A nice play from Boise State offense. I don't know why Metropolis' defense is playing so bad. I mean, the defense has been really impressive over the past 2 months, and today they've just completely laid an egg. Boise State moving the ball down the field with no problem. Here's Bachmeier, breaks a tackle, stumbling forward. He has it inside the 5 for a 1st down. Bachmeier's played well, and the Bulldogs have had trouble stopping running quarterbacks recently, even if they're not really full-on runners. They just have open space, as George Halani gets another touchdown, and it is now 49-14, a 35-point lead as we have a 4th and 1 here for the Bulldogs. They're going to try to punch in this 1st down from inside their own 35-yard line, and Diggins is stopped. The Boise State defense makes another play, and that will pretty much end the ball game. A big victory here for the Boise State Broncos, 49-14, a very uneventful 4th quarter, with it being a 35-point game and Boise State showing clock. I just didn't show the rest of the game. We did not play well. This was probably our worst game of the year, and it's odd timing because we had some bad performances early on, but then the Alabama game we were competitive. We had our 2 wins, and the Oklahoma game we were competitive. So I was expecting we would at least play some of these games close down the stretch, but we were completely outmatched really from the start of this game, and it was just ugly the entire time. Victor Johans continues to play solid. He's never been the problem, but he's never been the solution. The run game was not overly impressive. None of our receivers really stood out for the most part, although Emmanuel Cortez did have that sick play at the end of the 1st half. And then the defense, I mean, where's the pass rush? Our pass rush has been so good. We had 1 sack today, no turnovers. Even Mark Mitchell missed a kick. So it was the offense, it was the defense, it was the special teams. Hank Bachmeier was great. He was efficient. He had some really nice throws. He also ran it well. George Halani, 20 for 159 and 3 touchdowns. We could not stop him. We did kind of stop Khalil Shakir. If nothing else, he only had 2 catches for 30 yards. And then their defense was really, really impressive. They had a couple sacks, forced multiple turnovers. So all around, a bad loss. We're just going to try to erase that game and move on. So that brings us to our second game of the day, returning home to face off against the University of Virginia. 3 of our final 4 games are here at home in Washington, D.C., so we get to see the fans. I mean, not really, like a third of our stadium is filled, but whatever. We get to play at home, which is certainly nice, and it gives us an opportunity to have some recruits coming in to visit. We'll talk a little bit about that in just a moment as we get closer to the bowl game. Virginia is not a particularly great team this year. They are fighting for their bowl eligibility lives, just like us, as we both sit at 6 losses. We're 2-6. They are 3-6. I think this team is similar in talent to Boise State. They have Brennan Armstrong at quarterback, 85 overall, one of the better QBs in the ACC. They are also missing their star running back. Wayne Tuliapapa will be out today, so they're going to rely on a few other guys. And again, this is a well-rounded team. They have a few talented players. Sophomore wide receiver Natavion Wicks is a playmaker who we have to look out for. So it's going to be a tough matchup for sure, but it is sort of a mini rivalry game. This is not one of our main rivals. Those would be Maryland and Capital College, but Virginia is one of our smaller rivalries and a game that we would definitely like to win. Welcome to Metropolis Field, home of the Bulldogs, as the 2-6 Metropolis Bulldogs take on the 3-6 Virginia Cavaliers. As I mentioned earlier, we do have quite a few recruits on campus. The cousin of tight end O'Shane Yakabuti is here, cornerback Figgy Yakabuti, a few of our low lock targets, including JUCO star Victor Adams and 3-star athlete Jonathan Roberts, who could play quarterback at the next level. So a quick start here for the Virginia offense. Mike Highlands will be the bell cow back today. He gets a nice first down gain. It's a night one in this matchup. A lot of day games early in the season and a lot of night games late in the year for Metropolis. This is Billy Kemp, the fourth, takes it the distance for a touchdown. It seemed like the throw was kind of off balance, but Kemp just maneuvered his way from about 7 defenders and is in. More pandemonium among the top of college football. Number 3 North Carolina loses to Kenny Pickett and the Pittsburgh Panthers. Both teams are now 8-2. I don't know why Pitt isn't getting any respect in the rankings, but I imagine they will definitely be in the top 25 as Pickett, a potential first-rounder, outduels another potential first-rounder in Sam Howell. 3rd and 6 now for the offense. It's a screen for Diggins, and that is going nowhere. Screen passes really have not worked this season because, well, this team doesn't have an offensive line, to put it nicely. So Virginia gets it back with pretty good field position. Already a bad start to this game for Metropolis, as on 3rd and 8, they go with a screen. It's Mike Hollins who has blocks and runs out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Teams who do have good offensive lines and do have good blockers can run screens like that. 3rd and 3 now from inside the 10-yard line. Brennan Armstrong connects with Jelani Woods, and he is just short. So it's a 4th and inches. Good tackle by the senior, Teddy Edwards, and that leaves Virginia with an interesting decision. They are going to go for it. A gutsy call here by the Cavaliers. It's a handoff from Mike Hollins, who is untouched in the end zone for a touchdown. And the University of Virginia will make it a 14-0 lead. So already, after the defense had a really bad performance a week ago, they again look pretty bad. It's an option here for the junior, Xavier Grice. He gets about 12. Probably the best run I've seen from Grice all year. He's been very unimpressive, doesn't really have a whole lot of explosiveness, but that was a good play, although nobody was really in his way. 3rd down and 9 now for Metropolis. Victor Johan scrambling to the right side, going to try to run with it, and he gets maybe a yard. Stopped on the play by the Virginia defense, so that'll force a punt, and the Cavaliers get it back. 2nd and 1 now for Virginia. Armstrong keeps it on the option, breaks away from Jonathan Savage. There goes Brennan Armstrong down the field. Is Jovanovic going to catch him? He does, but not before reaching the 5-yard line. A strong end to a strong first quarter for Virginia. They lead 14-0 and are marching on the doorstep of the end zone again. It's hard to believe, but the Bulldogs might be playing worse than they did last week. First play of the second quarter, indeed, it is Mike Hollins who is able to keep his footing and scores the touchdown, and Virginia quickly leads by 3 scores. Virginia's not even that good of a team, plus this is a home game. So I would expect Metropolis, after getting blown out, to come out with more fire and intensity, but that has not been the case. Johans on first down has nobody to throw it to, and he is sacked on the play for a loss of about 6 yards. Good play there by the Virginia defense. That's what I call a good old-fashioned coverage sack. When nobody's open, Johans has to get sacked. 2nd and 16. There's a first down caught by Reggie King. Metropolis had 9 total offensive yards before that play. So, hey, progress. A nice first down for, again, Reggie King, who's really been the only consistent player on this side of the ball the entire season. 3rd and 8. Johans connects with O'Shane Yakabuti inside the 40. I think it would be a good idea to get Yakabuti the ball. With his cousin Figgy Yakabuti visiting today, I imagine Metropolis certainly wants to get him to commit sooner. Nobody really is going after Figgy Yakabuti except for the Bulldogs, so he should commit, but sooner rather than later would be nice. 3rd and 4, Johans going to try to run for the first down. He dives past the pylon. Victor Johans is not afraid to put his body on the line. Not that there were really any defenders in the area, but point remains. 3rd and 4. Johans looking to throw it. It's a play-action pass, and he is sacked again. Once more, nobody was open at all, and it was only a matter of time until Ross was going to be able to get to him. So that'll bring out the field goal unit again from the left hash, and again, no good! What is happening to Mark Mitchell? Through the first 7 games of the year, he hadn't missed a kick all year. Now he is 2 from the left hash and is wide right on both of them. So it remains 21-0. There's a good play. Probably the first good play of this entire game, as it's Ford Shadas who brings him down. That'll lead us to a 3rd down and 7 now for Boise State. Brennan Armstrong looking to throw it. It is broken up. Teddy Edwards probably should have picked that off, but hey, a stop is a stop. At the end of the day, that's Armstrong's first incompletion, forcing Virginia's first punt. On 3rd and 4, Mekhi Diggins tries to bounce off a blocker, gets maybe a yard. The Cavaliers call timeout. And 4th and 3, Metropolis is going to go for it from inside the 30-yard line and around the 27. Again, the Bulldogs are saying, what do we have to lose? And it's Larry Caker who runs for the first down. Victor Johans got sacked on the previous drive, if you remember. He got injured on that play. So that's why he's not currently in the game. His status is questionable, so for now it will be the Larry Caker show. Caker on 3rd and 9 scrambling. We know he has a strong arm, but he can't get rid of it. Well, he did get rid of it, but he can't fire it to a receiver. So Virginia gets another stop. Their defense continues to play pretty much flawlessly. Armstrong down the field as time winds down. He gets it to Thompson, pushed out by Mekhi Diggins, who got burnt. I think it's a bad thing when you get burned by somebody wearing number 99. That just does not feel right at all. Here's the field goal unit getting the field goal to fall with just a few seconds left in the first half. And again, as bad as Metropolis played last week against Boise State, it has been even worse today against Virginia. 24-0 currently your score. This was a big game because it's against a rival. It's at home. A lot of recruits are visiting. And it has just been bad. Nobody really is playing well for the most part. Caker on 3rd and 7 scrambling. Incomplete. Larry Caker is a stronger arm than Victor Johans, but he's definitely not as accurate, and I don't think he's as mobile as Johans is either. So Virginia gets it back up 24-0, trying to extend their lead, as Armstrong gets it over to Thompson, again, number 99. I just noticed that both Bachmeier and Armstrong, the 2 quarterbacks, are lefties. Kind of ironic to play 2 lefties within the same doubleheader, and we played another lefty earlier in the season with Talia Tagovailoa of Maryland. There is Dontavion Wicks bringing it inside the 15. He's been pretty quiet today. If nothing else, the Bulldogs have shut down a couple of really good number 1 receivers with Wicks today and Shakir in the last game, but that's really the only positive as Brennan Armstrong goes in the end zone for an easy 1-yard touchdown, and Virginia now leads 31-0. Brennan Armstrong isn't really a scrambler by nature, but he has been running loose today. 3rd and 8, Caker to throw it away. The sad thing is, that wasn't even me trying to throw it away. I pressed X trying to get it to the receiver. He's just that inaccurate that it literally looked like he threw it away. 2nd and 9, Armstrong going to run with it again. He has 74 speed. He's not that fast, but he points in this game have looked like a running back. Now keep in mind he's not playing the best of defenses, clearly, but still, I don't know how this run defense, which has been really good all year, has played so poorly today. Armstrong loses 3, so I guess I kind of reverse jinxed it. That is a San Antonio who brings him down, and now it is a 3rd and 12 here. Not a whole lot of time left in the third quarter. Armstrong with a screen for Hollins, and the play is read like a book by Jonathan Savage II, who forces a loss of 5. Savage was damn near on top of him. If he had flicked his hips to the ball, he could have picked it off. Virginia would end up kicking the field goal as it is now 34-0. 3rd and 10, Larry Caker is intercepted by Bratton. Larry Caker has played really, really bad, to put it nicely. I mean, he is a cannon of an arm, but he is just so inaccurate. 1st and goal at the 1, Mike Collins scores another touchdown, and the bleeding continues as it is now a 41-0 lead for Virginia. Yeah, this has just been rough. Can we get to the fourth quarter? Can we get to the end of the game already? So Virginia leads this one by a lot, and again, the Bulldogs are playing for pride. I guess maybe they're playing for stats because that'll help out the recruiting bonuses for all the guys visiting. That's really about it. It has just been that bad of the game. I didn't think this team could play worse than they did against Boise State, but here we are. Another missed throw by Larry Caker. He's got to be like 1 for 10 at this point. Victor Johans is planning to come back into the game, thank God, soon, as on 2nd and 3, Armstrong again gets out of pressure, but is eventually sacked for a loss of 4 on the play by the junior, Malcolm DeGray. DeGray had that really good first game against Maryland, has been really quiet since, so it's good to see him making a play. 3rd and 7, Hollins stiff arms the defender, gets the first down. That's just been the story of this game. The defensive execution has just been so bad. It almost feels like the defense has allowed more points in these 2 games this season than the other 7 games combined, minus the second half in Alabama, as they do force a fumble, but it just turns out into a bigger gain. So the Bulldogs get very unlucky. Starling picks up the ball, brings it into the red zone, and then on the very next play, Boise State trying to punch it in here with about 5-ish minutes left to go, as they will get it into the end zone for another touchdown. That is Kemp, who had the touchdown earlier, and it is now 48-0. The Bulldogs with one more shot to avoid getting shut out for the first time in school history. On 1st down, Victor Johans back in the game. He looks to run it, quickly going out of bounds, does not want to get hurt again. Johans has been a tough cookie all year. He has dealt with so many injuries and has continued to fight, which you really want to see from your quarterback. 4th and 3, the Bulldogs will elect to go for it rather than going for the points. Johans looking to throw it again, scrambling, and he connects with Danilo Walls, who is unable to bring it in the end zone, goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line with not a lot of time left. The Bulldogs trying to punch it in, get 1 touchdown, make the score look a little bit respectable. Johans looks to throw it, has an open man. It's O'Shane Yakabuti for the score. If anyone was going to get the ball there, it's going to be Yakabuti, because again, his cousin is visiting. Maybe that'll make his cousin want to commit sooner. I don't know. 48-7 is your final. Just a brutal performance here from Metropolis, and a brutal episode overall. I think this team has shown a ton of heart, a ton of effort, and it's been a good year 1, but these 2 games were easily the 2 worst games of the year, I think, without question. After the Emmanuel Cortez touchdown at the end of the first half against Boise State, we did not score again until the final seconds of this game, and our defense, who's, again, been really impressive this year, just completely laid an egg in this game. The offense went nowhere without Victor Johans, which I think really shows that, again, Johans is not the reason why we're losing games. Larry Caker was just an abomination. The run game was a little bit better. Mekhi Diggins was fairly decent, but not a whole lot of explosive plays from him. The receivers were very unimpressive. Reggie King led our team with just 25 yards, and the defense, again, not the best. We sent a little bit more pressure. The run defense was a little bit better, but not by a whole lot. Brennan Armstrong, 23 for 24, and he was a beast on the ground, along with Mike Collins. I mean, the fact of the matter is we played against a good quarterback, and, well, he looked awfully good against us, and I'm happy to say I think we don't have any great QBs left on the schedule for this season, so that's good, I suppose. So we're going to simulate forward. Now we have another doubleheader in the next episode against Georgia Tech and Vanderbilt, and then the following episode we will finish off our season against our rivals, Capital College. So hopefully we can finish off the season strong despite 2 pretty bad losses today. I hope everybody enjoyed the episode, though. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.